Hi, I'm Jeff Kirsch from Fight Crime Invest in Kids. Assume I'm a governor, and pre-K now has come to me and made the case about why I should do pre-K, and I believe all that. But I have the teachers union talking about full-day kindergarten. I have parents whose kids are in half-day kindergarten. I have schools that have room for kindergarten. What advice do you give me?
This is not a waffle, although it will sound like one. Some advocates say, but what about, we could be talking about the 2-year-olds who Sue mentioned, an early Head Start, this tiny program of high quality that ought to be expanded. And I think the argument really is to build on the momentum that pre-K has developed to expand funding for education generally. If anybody believes that kids growing up in a disorderly community for the first 3 years of their life, and then at age 4, going into a really great pre-K classroom for half a day, and then going into a really disastrous primary school, if you believe that kid's going to succeed, I have a bridge that goes from Manhattan to Brooklyn that I'm really happy to sell you. So you've got to take this a step at a time, and you seize on that moment. And people really appreciate the argument for pre-K and understand that, as Sue was saying before, it's not pre-K versus. It's pre-K builds a synergy, builds an understanding of the importance of early education. Kindergarten, first, second grade, third grade, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. Got to start someplace. It's like my comment about universalism. You're not going to get there tomorrow, but you really have to have a strategy and a goal. And the advocates, take Illinois, for example. In Illinois, the advocates learned that the way to make something happen was to fight it out behind closed doors, let the blood trickle out from that room and come out with a united front, as opposed to just getting, nibbled to death by the politicians. And that's what I would say. Be united around, so you'll get, eventually you'll get to the various places you want to go to. But if you look at that data, this is a moment in which it makes sense to unite around pre-K.